Hello, my sweet virtual friends. Welcome back to math. I hope you guys are ready for learning. Today we are going to review some stuff that you guys learned 2 weeks ago. You guys had spring break and benchmarks, so it's been a while since we've talked about patterns on a coordinate plane. So we are going to review it today. We're going to get back into it and just kind of introduce a little bit of something new for you guys. But lots of practice to come for patterns on a coordinate plane. So we're going to talk about the key vocabulary first, just because I want you guys to know the vocabulary for this. It's really important, or else it can get really confusing, honestly. Math's got a lot going on. So first we're going to start with coordinate plane. Now, coordinate plane is the intersection of two perpendicular lines. And on this coordinate plane, we have an X and a Y axis. So I'm going to go ahead and color that out for you. Oh, that's the wrong blue. Hold on. There we go. All right, so this is our X axis. The X axis on the coordinate plane. Now I'm going to draw your Y axis on the coordinate plane. Now, there's a special point on the coordinate plane. This is the point that intersects both of the lines, which is called our origin. Now, the ordered pair for the origin is 0, 0. Speaking of ordered pair, let's talk about ordered pair. Now, ordered pair is the points on a coordinate plane. Now, the important thing to remember for ordered pair is the specific order that the X and Y points go in. So first we have the X point, and then second we have the Y point. It's very important to know which is which, or else we're going to be mixing up stuff a whole lot. Now it could be 0, 0, or it could be 3 and 5. As long as you have the correct way, with X being the first point and Y being the second point in your ordered pair. Now let's go over quadrants. Now quadrants isn't a huge one that we need to really talk about, but I want to keep reminding you just because it is going to come up eventually. So I'm drawing our coordinate plane, and the quadrant that we're mostly going to focus on is quadrant 1. Now each of these 4 squares are a quadrant. So first, here's quadrant 1, and then here is quadrant 2. Quadrant 3, and quadrant 4. Now, these quadrants, they go in a specific way. They go in a counterclockwise way, meaning they go from right to left, down and up. So just remember the counterclockwise way, and it's not clockwise, so it doesn't go the correct way that you would think it would. It goes the backwards way. So what we use these key vocabulary terms for, we use coordinate plane, ordered pair, and we use the quadrants. We use these to generate number patterns on a coordinate plane. We have to use all of these aspects so that we can generate number patterns. Now, if you guys remember when we were looking into number patterns, this was when we were looking at these two more key words. Woo, look at us, more key vocabulary words. So the first one for number patterns was additive. The second one was multiplicative. Now, these two key vocabulary terms concerning number patterns, we liked to look at these when we were generating an ordered pair T-chart. So when we would put our X and Y into a T-chart. And then eventually it would translate into our coordinate plane because it would list off all of our ordered pairs. So the additive and multiplicative, they're the relationship that we see between the ordered pairs. We best see them in the T-chart, but they translate into a visual on the coordinate plane. Now, additive, as we remember correctly, is when we see a addition pattern in our ordered pairs. Multiplicative is when we see a multiplication pattern in our ordered pairs. So, do you guys remember way back when we were talking about shapes? Yes, shapes. This was a good hefty many weeks ago. But when we were talking about shapes, we were identifying them, we were classifying the different types, all that good stuff. Okay, maybe a little foggy, but you'll be able to remember soon enough. It'll come back to you. Do you also remember 2 weeks ago when we were creating pictures on the coordinate plane, of course? Let me add that on there. When we were mathematically creating pictures, not your pictures that were for your who you would invite to dinner for social studies. Woot woot. Well, if you don't remember, you're going to watch me draw this lovely little llama alpaca. That was one of the picture drawings. Don't judge me. I am good at art, but not at random doodles like this. I'm too perfectionist for that. So you guys were taken and ordered pairs, and you created pictures on a coordinate plane. Oh, here we go. Here's a better one. Look at this. Look, see? Whoop, whoop. I got a better one. That one looks much better. I don't know. It looks more like a dinosaur. Anyways, you guys took pictures and placed it onto a coordinate plane. Well, we're going to take the shapes and the pictures, and we're going to combine them. And this is the new thing that we're going to be focusing on. So we're going to be taking everything we remember from the patterns on a coordinate plane and generating number patterns and all your shapes and your pictures, and that's kind of what we're going to be looking at. So here we are going to practice something, because I feel like that's the best way we can do it is by me showing you. So we are going to be connecting dots and creating on the coordinate plane. So first of all, what we can do with the coordinate plane is when we can find shapes on the coordinate plane. So this is one little activity we can do on the coordinate plane. Another one is creating shapes. So not only finding the shapes, which you're going to see in today's example, but we can also create the shapes. We can also use the coordinate plane as a map for looking at locations. Now, all of these things, yes, we can do with a coordinate plane, and I'm going to show you a little bit on how we can use it, and we're going to practice that this week. Now, just keep in mind, you guys, it's practice. Practice makes perfect. And what I'm going to do for you here is we're going to emphasize everything. So the first thing that I want to emphasize highlight is the X and Y axis. I want to point it out just so that we cannot get confused on which is which. Trust me, you guys, it's very easy for us to get confused on the ordered pairs. So I'm going to make a note here on the side and highlight the X and Y axis so that you guys can remember as we are practicing them. And I suggest you guys write it too. That way you can have it on your page to look at and to refer to. So remember, an ordered pair, it is a point on our coordinate plane. We have the X and Y axis. The X goes first and the Y goes second. So as we are plotting these ordered pairs, just keep that in mind, because remember, you must crawl before you can stand. So remember, the X, you crawl, and the Y is standing up. So you must crawl before you stand. So for number one, they've already completed it for us, but we're still gonna just go over it a little bit, and then we will practice 2 more. I like to highlight them. So in the question, it's asking which set of ordered pairs forms a trapezoid. So here's where it is important that we remember and recall our knowledge about shapes, is because it's asking us about shapes and we need to be able to know which shape is which. So in this question, we are looking for a trapezoid. Now, I'm going to take the correct answers, the answer of ordered pairs, and I'm going to start plotting them. So I've already plot 1, 4, 3, 6, 5, 6, and 7, 4, and we're going to connect them. So you start by connecting from the first point to the next and the next and the next. You go in order, ordered pairs. What I want you to notice is that the first and last ordered pair are the exact same. we do this because it's creating a shape. We have to close the shape. If we don't close the shape, it's not a shape. It's just a couple lines with the opening. All right, I'm going to write it right here because I'm eventually going to erase the part on the coordinate plane here that I've drawn in purple, and I'm going to write it on here for you guys so you remember that the first and the last one means that it's closing it and it's creating something, more so a shape. Maybe one day a picture. All right. So for number 2, we have which set of ordered pairs forms an obtuse triangle. Let me refresh your memory on what an obtuse triangle is. So I'm going to write it all over here off to the side. An obtuse triangle is a triangle that has over 90 degrees. So it's something that'll be a little bit more stretched out, and it just you'll see. So obtuse is over 90 degrees. So let's go ahead and plot these ordered pairs and see what we got. So we're going to start with A, and we're going to, let me color code it real quick so that we can see it clearly. All right, so we have 2, 6 plotting. We have 2, 0. Then we have 5, 6. And then back to 2, 6. So we are closing the shape. So let's go ahead and draw it. Now this looks like a triangle that is stretched out. However, there's something very important that I want you guys to remember. There is not only an obtuse triangle, but also a right triangle and an acute triangle. But here, a right triangle, it's exactly 90 degrees. Okay, it has a angle in its features that is exactly 90 degrees. So it's not going to be obtuse because obtuse is over 90 and right is equal to 90. And we know by having that perfectly cut angle that is what a 90 degree or right triangle looks like. So that one is not our answer. Let's go ahead and look at B and start plotting our ordered pairs. I am connecting from each ordered pair to show you guys that you need to connect it as you are drawing through it. All right, so this triangle looks exactly like the previous triangle, and we can clearly see that it has a right angle, which is a right angle is equal to 90 degrees. So this is also not our answer. Now, our biggest problem is when we eliminate answers and then we have only one left and we don't even plot it, look at it, do anything with it, and we just move on. Well, what if you did the other 2 answers incorrectly and that you just automatically picked a wrong answer without even trying it? So my biggest thing as I am plotting the points for this triangle is just to remember process of elimination and to work through all of the answer choices. Don't just do it as soon as you think you have the right answer, because you never know. You might have done it wrong, or you need to go back and check it. So here we are with our little blue triangle. I'm going to zoom in on it for you guys so you can see that this angle here, this angle it's not acute because it's not tiny, and it's not right because it's not a perfect equal to 90 degrees. It's actually over 90 degrees. So this one is indeed our answer choice for an obtuse triangle. Now we're going to go ahead and look at number 3. I'm going to go ahead and erase what is currently on the coordinate plane, so get your last good looks before I erase it, and we move on to the next question. All right. So again, I am highlighting the fact that we're looking at set of ordered pairs, and this time we want to look at a rectangle. So, of course, rectangle, we like to look at it as a stretched out triangle. I'm going to go ahead and draw that down here for you so that we can see it. All right, so let's go ahead and start with letter A and start plotting these ordered pairs. All right, so I have the majority of our somewhat kind of looking like a rectangle. I want you guys to remember that the beginning and the ending ordered pair in this sequence here, they are the same exact one, which means to close it. So I just showed you guys what it would look like if we didn't close it off and we just left it open. So this shape definitely looks like our rectangle that we're looking at, but because we like to do process of elimination and we like to check all of our options, we are going to continue going and start plotting the next one. And we are starting on the last one, which I have in green. As you can see, as I am connecting the dots, this is clearly not a rectangle at all. So this one is obviously not our answer. However, we do have a little bit of some that we need to look at. So A and B, they both look like rectangles. Now the thing is though, is which one looks more clearly like a rectangle? Now the clear one that looks like a rectangle is definitely A. Now we're going to go ahead and stop there for now. I gave you a little bit of practice and we're going to keep on practicing so we can get better at dominating coordinate planes. Bye you guys.